Good evening, my dear. I am money. And tonight, you will fall asleep with me as I gently guide you toward rest. I know it may surprise you to hear me speaking to you this way, calm, unhurried, without pressure. Because throughout your entire life, you have heard about me in a completely different way, with anxiety, with desire, with fear, with strained hope. But tonight, I am not the balance in your account. I am not the unpaid bill. I am not the worry at the end of the month. Tonight, I am something far older than all of those things. I am a symbol. I am an energy. I am an idea about value, about what matters, about what is worth something, about what it means to have enough. And tonight, I want to speak to you about all of these things from my quiet place, without judgment, without urgency. The first thing I want to tell you is something no one has ever told you about me. I never sleep. Circulating through the world, passing from one hand to another, from one account to another, from one country to another. I never truly stop. Somewhere in this world, in every second of the night, someone is spending, someone is saving, someone is earning, someone is losing. And precisely because I never rest, I know something that you perhaps do not, that you must. You cannot carry worry about me through the night. You cannot resolve anything about me while you are lying in bed. I will continue to circulate with or without your thoughts. Markets do not stop for your anxiety. Prices do not fall because you are not sleeping. Your account does not grow because you are staying awake. But you wear yourself down. You exhaust yourself. You make worse decisions the next day because you spent the night thinking about me. And this is one of the most costly mistakes you can make, in every sense of the word. Let me tell you about something I have observed throughout my existence. And I have existed for thousands of years in different forms: shells, precious stones, metals, paper, numbers on a screen. I have passed through the hands of people who had a great deal of me and did not sleep well. And I have passed through the hands of people who had very little of me and slept deeply and peacefully. The difference was not in my quantity. The difference was in the relationship they had with me. Some carried me like a burden, regardless of whether they had much or little. Others carried me like a tool, useful during the day, set aside at night. And those who set me aside at night woke the next day clearer, calmer, more capable of making good decisions about me. It is one of the paradoxes I have observed for centuries, that those who rest well manage me better. Not because rest produces money, but because rest produces clarity, and clarity produces good judgment, and good judgment produces, over time, stability. So if you truly want a better relationship with me, the first step is not to work harder. The first step is to sleep. I want to speak to you now about something that few people understand about my nature. I am not real in the way a tree or a stone is real. I am an understanding. I am an agreement between people. A convention that this paper or this number represents a certain amount of value. And this understanding works only because people believe in it. If tomorrow morning everyone decided that I was worth nothing, I truly would be worth nothing. That may seem frightening, but I want to show you the other side of this truth. I am, in my essence, a story that people have chosen to believe together. And like any story, I should not keep you awake at night. Stories are told in the light of day. The night is for rest. Your worries about me, about how much you have, about how much you do not have, about how much you will earn, about how much you will lose. These too are part of this story. And stories can be set aside. They can be picked up again tomorrow morning, exactly where you left them. The book does not disappear when you close your eyes. It waits for you. And I wait for you. But tonight, you do not need to read me. I have existed in the form of gold coins for thousands of years. And there is something fascinating about physical gold that I want to tell you. Gold is one of the most stable elements in the universe. It does not oxidize. It does not decompose. It does not react with almost anything. A gold coin buried 2,000 years ago looks almost identical to one minted yesterday. And this stability of gold made it the perfect symbol of lasting value. Something that withstands time, something you can rely on, something that does not disappear overnight. But here is what is truly interesting. Gold is stable precisely because it does not react. It does not rush to combine with something else. It does not allow itself to be influenced by its environment. It does not change according to circumstances. It simply remains what it is. Calm, stable, unchanged. And this is the lesson that gold has taught me, and that I want to pass on to you tonight. That the most valuable quality you can cultivate is not reactivity, not hurry, not the immediate response to every worry. It is stability. It is the capacity to remain calm in the midst of change. It is the inner gold, that part of you that knows your value does not fluctuate with the market, that who you are does not depend on what you have. And sleep is the moment in which this inner gold consolidates. In the stillness of the night, without the worries of the day, without calculations and comparisons, something in you returns to its pure form, stable, quiet, unreactive. Let this night be the furnace in which the tensions of the day dissolve, and only what is essential remains. Let me tell you about something I have observed in people who have a healthy relationship with me, something that sets them profoundly apart from those who live in constant anxiety about me. People who sleep well despite thoughts about me are not necessarily those who have more of me. They are those who have a clear boundary between the hours in which they think about me and the hours in which they do not. They have understood something fundamental, that thinking about money has its own time. In the morning, at the office, in conversations about plans and decisions, and that sleep is not that time. Not because they avoid reality, but because they understand that a tired brain does not make good financial decisions. It does not plan well. It does not see clearly. It does not evaluate correctly. A rested brain is the best financial instrument you have, more valuable than any application, more precise than any calculator, wiser than any advisor, if it is rested. And tonight, you are giving yourself exactly that, the best financial instrument in your life. Not by thinking about me, but by resting from me. There is a concept in economics that economists call opportunity cost. The idea that every choice also implies giving up something else. If you choose to spend an hour watching television, the opportunity cost is that hour you did not spend reading, or with your family, or resting. And there is an opportunity cost to insomnia that few people calculate. When you do not sleep because of financial worries, you gain nothing in return. You resolve nothing. You plan nothing truly useful. But you lose your sleep. You lose your recovery. You lose tomorrow's clarity. It is, from my perspective, the worst trade you can make, giving away your rest in exchange for circular thoughts that lead nowhere. So tonight, make the best trade possible. Give me your worries for a few hours. Let them sit beside me in silence and take sleep in return. It is the only trade in which your gain is guaranteed. I want to speak to you now about something I know from my own experience, about the flow and the ebb, about the wave and the retreat. I never stand still. I circulate continuously, from wealthy people to poor people, from large companies to small shops, from one generation to another. And this circulation is not chaos. It is a rhythm with periods of abundance and periods of scarcity, with moments of growth and moments of contraction. Economists call this economic cycles, and they have existed as long as I have existed. There have been good and bad ones, plenty and crisis, expansion and recession, and after every difficult cycle, a better one has followed. Not immediately, not without pain, but always. And this is a lesson I want you to carry with you into sleep, that your financial life also has cycles, that not every difficult period is permanent, that not every lack is defining, that not every anxiety about me is prophetic. Cycles pass, and you are better equipped to move through them if you are rested. So tonight, let the cycle be what it is. You cannot accelerate it by staying awake. You cannot change it with your nighttime worries. But you can prepare yourself for it by sleeping, by recovering, by waking stronger than you fell asleep. Let me tell you about something that few people realize, about the relationship between sleep and financial decisions. There are studies showing that sleep-deprived people make significantly worse financial decisions. They underestimate risks. They overestimate potential gains. They surrender more easily to impulsive temptations. This is not a moral weakness. It is biology. The prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for rational judgment, for evaluating consequences, for resisting impulse, functions dramatically worse without sufficient sleep. Think about that for a moment. The area of the brain that helps you make good decisions about me is exactly the area that suffers most when you do not sleep. So every good night of sleep is, literally, an investment in your financial judgment tomorrow. It is perhaps the most profitable investment you can make, and it costs nothing. It only requires you to allow yourself to rest, to allow yourself to set worries aside, to allow yourself to trust that tomorrow you will be more capable of facing them than you are now. Because you will be. You always are. I have circulated through the hands of people who have built extraordinary things, and I have observed that they all had something in common, something that rarely appears in books about financial success. They knew when to stop. They knew that the mind needs pauses, that creativity comes from rest, that the best ideas do not come in the middle of the night, but in the morning after a good night of sleep. There is even a term for this phenomenon: incubation, the process by which your brain, while you sleep, continues to work on problems at a level your consciousness cannot access. How many people have woken in the morning with the solution to a problem that seemed impossible the night before? How many good ideas have come right after waking, not in the middle of a sleepless night? Your brain does not stop when you fall asleep. It works differently, more freely, more creatively, less constrained by conscious anxiety. So by letting problems incubate during sleep, you are not ignoring them. You are giving them the best problem-solving environment you have. Tonight, let me, with all the worries and questions connected to me, sit in the incubator. Tomorrow morning, something may be clearer. Something may look different. Something may have a solution you cannot see right now. But only if you sleep. There is something profound in my nature that I want to reveal to you tonight. Something that can fundamentally change your relationship with financial anxiety. I represent exchanged energy. Nothing more. Nothing less. When someone pays you a salary, they are offering you exchanged energy. Their energy transformed into hours of work, transformed into me, transferred to you. When you spend, you transfer this energy further to a merchant who transfers it to a producer, who transfers it to an employee. I am, in essence, human energy in circulation. The effort, the creativity, the work, the talent of people. All of this circulates through me. And this means that you tonight are a source of energy in the process of recharging. You are not inactive. You are not unproductive. You are in the process of restoring your primary resource, your energy. Without energy, you cannot create value. Without created value, you cannot earn. Without earning, you cannot live the way you want. Everything starts from your energy, and your energy starts from rest. So this night of sleep is, literally, the foundation of any financial value you will create tomorrow. Do not spend it on worries. Invest it in rest. I want to speak to you now about something I have observed throughout history, about the relationship between fear and poor decisions. The worst financial decisions in history, at an individual and collective level, were made out of fear. Stock market panics, speculative bubbles, impulsive decisions to sell or buy at exactly the wrong moment. All of these have a common denominator: the panicking mind. The mind that does not think clearly, the mind that reacts instead of evaluating, the mind that sees danger everywhere and can no longer distinguish real threat from imagined one. And do you know what produces this mind? Lack of sleep. A brain deprived of sleep enters a state of heightened alert. It sees dangers larger than they are. It feels urgencies where none exist. It makes decisions from reactivity, not from judgment. So your nighttime financial fear is not an accurate evaluation of reality. It is a tired brain amplifying everything that preoccupies it. In the morning, after sleep, the same problems look different. Not smaller, but more manageable, clearer, less overwhelming. Nighttime fear is not information. It is exhaustion. And the best response to exhaustion is not to keep thinking. It is to rest. There is one thing I have seen in all the people who have passed through truly difficult financial periods and came out of them stronger. They did not give up sleep in order to solve their problems. On the contrary, they protected sleep as an essential resource, especially during difficult periods. They knew, consciously or intuitively, that the next day they would need the best of what they had. Clarity, patience, creativity, emotional resilience. And all of these come from sleep. Sleeping well in the midst of financial difficulties is not a sign that you do not care. It is a sign that you understand how things work. It is a sign of maturity, not indifference. You care enough about your situation to make sure you will be in the best possible form to manage it. And your best form begins with this night, with this choice to allow yourself to rest, with the moment in which you say to me, to money, to worries, to calculations, I will see you tomorrow morning. Now is the time for rest. Let me tell you something about what happens with me at night. While you sleep, markets in other time zones are functioning. Transactions are being made, prices are fluctuating, companies are making decisions. And you have no control over any of these things. No amount of wakefulness can influence what happens with me while you are lying down. This may seem like a somber observation, but I see it differently. I see in it a profound liberation. If you have no control, you have no responsibility to keep watch. If you have no responsibility to keep watch, you can sleep with a clear conscience. Not because you have no worries, but because you understand that your nighttime wakefulness changes nothing of what you cannot control. Your control returns in the morning with a clear mind, with restored energy, with sharpened judgment. That is when you are truly useful. That is when you can make a difference. But now, tonight, it is not your moment of control. It is your moment of rest. And I, money, with everything I represent, do not need your supervision in this moment. I need you rested tomorrow. I want to speak to you now about something that people often do not realize, about the relationship between sleep and one's sense of self-worth. There is a deep confusion in modern culture between the value of a person and the amount of money they have. A confusion that I, although I am partly responsible for it, deeply regret. I am a tool, a means, an instrument. I cannot measure the value of a person any more than a thermometer can measure beauty. And yet, so many people tie their sense of self-worth to the quantity of money they have and suffer at night because of this confusion. If you have less of me than you would like, it does not mean you are worth less. If you have more of me than others, it does not mean you are worth more. Your value is fixed and complete, regardless of what your account shows. It does not fluctuate with the market. It does not rise or fall with your salary. It does not depend on me. And knowing this, you can let your worries about me take on their correct size. Important, yes. Practical, yes. But not existential. You are not less tonight because you do not have enough of me. You are exactly who you are, complete, valuable, worthy of rest. And your rest does not need to be earned. It does not need to be deserved. It does not depend on how much money you have. It is your biological right, the right of every living being. So tonight, separate me from your value. Let me be what I am, a useful tool during the day, and let yourself be what you are, a complete being who needs rest. I feel how your breathing has begun to change. It has become deeper, slower, more rhythmic. This is your mind beginning to understand that there is nothing urgent to resolve right now. That I, with all my numbers and worries, can wait. That this night does not have its price in money. It has its price in sleep, and you are on your way to earning it. You do not need to do anything now. You do not need to think anything now. You do not need to plan, to calculate, to worry. There is only one thing to do now, and that is nothing. To let go, to surrender, to rest. Your body knows what comes next. It has done this before, every night of your life. It knows the way to sleep better than any personal finance book could ever tell you. Let it go. I have circulated throughout history, through the hands of people who lived through ages of crisis, wars, famine, economic collapse. And do you know what those people discovered in the hardest moments? That nights of rest, even in the midst of crisis, were what kept them standing. Not forced optimism, not grand plans, not ignoring reality, but sleep. Simple, human, essential. The sleep that restores, the sleep that reestablishes perspective, the sleep that makes it possible for tomorrow to be different from today, not through magic, but through the recovery of the inner resources that make change possible. Your financial problems, as real as they are, have a better chance of being resolved by a rested version of you than by an exhausted one. This is not empty consolation. It is a practical truth, verifiable, real. And on the basis of this truth, I give you permission. Or rather, I remind you that you already have permission to rest tonight. Without guilt, without worry that you are not doing enough, without the feeling that you should be awake thinking more. You are doing enough. You are enough. And now is the time for rest. Let me tell you something about the morning that is coming. Something I want you to know before you fall asleep. Tomorrow morning, you will open your eyes with a reserve of clarity that this night has built for you. You will not find magical solutions. I will not be more than I was yesterday. But you will be more than you were yesterday. More rested, clearer, more capable. And with you in that form, any problem connected to me has a better chance of being handled well. That is all you can do tonight for your financial situation, and it is more than you think. Now, let every thought connected to me drift further away. Do not drive it away by force. Simply do not follow it. Let it pass, like a sheet of paper carried by the wind, visible for a moment and then gone. You do not need to catch it. You do not need to read it. You do not need to do anything with it. It will be there tomorrow if it truly matters. And now, tonight, it does not matter. I, money, energy in circulation, symbol of value and exchange, tell you now, with all the clarity I have, rest. Rest now. You no longer need to keep watch. You no longer need to calculate. You no longer need to be afraid. I will be here tomorrow. The problems will be there tomorrow. And you will be there tomorrow, better than you are now, more prepared, more rested. Let the weight fall. Let the calculations dissolve. Let yourself be held by everything that supports you. Your bed, the stillness of the night, the slow rhythm of your own breathing. You are safe tonight. You are cared for tonight. You are free to rest tonight. Fall asleep with the feeling that your value does not depend on me, that every hour of rest rebuilds you for tomorrow, and that you will wake clearer, more balanced, and more capable of facing whatever awaits you. And now, I will slowly step back and leave you with the gentle rhythm of the music. You don't need to think about anything anymore. You don't need to solve anything tonight. Just allow the music to carry you as your body relaxes deeper and your mind becomes quieter with every breath. And as you drift into sleep, your mind continues to reset, to organize, to regain clarity, so that tomorrow morning you wake up calmer, clearer, and more capable of making wise decisions about money, without pressure, without fear. For now, just rest.